Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Sumato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. Quick overview of the connection. Of course, we speak about Veterans Day. We then get into the Sumitomo plant that we just heard news about yesterday, get into our safety tips for families, school and district highlights. Then we finish it off with a couple recognitions at the end of the connection. So let's get going. First, Veterans Day. Folks, everybody knows we are off this Monday for Veterans Day. The most important thing is that we take the time to help students to really understand the importance of celebrating our veterans and everything that has been sacrificed for all of us to be able to enjoy the freedoms that we have. There's a really nice piece in here talking about the importance of Veterans Day, some ideas, suggestions of how we could help kiddos really get the purpose of Veterans Day. So check that out. And all of us make sure that we tell all of the people that we know that have served in our armed forces, thank you very much for all of your service. And then, of course, we move on to this next story. And folks, this came as a shock to everyone. The Sumitomo plant on Thursday was announced that it's closing effective immediately. And this absolutely has an effect on I'm not even sure the amount of families that we have in Kenton, but I know it will have an effect on our entire Kenton community. To the extent right now, we don't know. But I want us to keep in all of our thoughts, our good wishes, our well wishes, all of those families that are going through this difficult time. It's never easy when families have to go through this. And folks, always know that the school district, we do have resources if anybody needs to reach out, our family support center, even reaching out to your school directly. But this should be a time that we're coming together during this uncertain time. More to come on that topic. And our next piece is safety tips for families. And folks, it is drowsy driving prevention. And this is not only important for us as adults, it's extremely important that we speak to our young drivers about feeling drowsy, don't get behind the wheel. There's even some comparisons to driving while under the influence and driving drowsy, how they can be very similar. We know that the result will be catastrophic and can be catastrophic. So really look at this section, go over it with kids, go over it for yourself, and pay special attention. Then we get into our school and district highlights. Board members observe new academic programs in action at Franklin Elementary. Kenton hosts 23 foreign exchange students from France. Hoover Middle opens brand new free clothing shop. Hoover Middle students take part in fun-filled day of discovery. Tree planted at Kenmore West in memory of Joseph Sardina, class of 1994. East and West volleyball teams raise thousands for Roswell Park. Kenton students and staff get creative for Halloween. And then we get to our recognition, and we do have two, both our sets of employees right here in the district, and both so impactful on our district every day. First, our school psychologists. Next week is National School Psychology Week, an initiative of the National Association of School Psychologists to celebrate the contributions of school psychologists and raise awareness about the important role that they play in our schools and communities. Folks, our psychologists work countless hours, really doing everything they can for our families, for our kiddos. These are very special individuals that are not only loving like we all are, they have a great skill set that really can address a lot of our needs of not only our students, our families, even us as staff. So we really, really appreciate and show that appreciation for our school psychologists. And our next recognition, our substitute teachers. You want to talk about working behind the scenes. Two of the toughest jobs in the district. Bus driver, substitute teachers. And the reason being, not because just these jobs are more challenging, you have to make such great connections with kids in a short period of time as a substitute teacher. Engaging kids, showing kids you care, getting kids to do the work that needs to be done. Sometimes it's just during that day. That's what makes this job so challenging. Always working behind the scenes. Thank you for all of our substitute teachers and your dedication to Kenton. And that brings us to the end of the connection this week. And folks, here we are in November. We had a presidential election this week. I really think that it's a a very key time to talk to our kiddos about what it means to go through a presidential election. That it's great to have differences of opinions, and we learn from each other. I know I learned from a lot of colleagues this week just having discussions about the election. But the great part about an election is that we are here and we could talk about it. Speaking of Veterans Days, because our freedoms that our veterans have brought us that give us that right to not only vote, but discuss everything from that election. That absolutely is what makes us Kenton proud. That's what makes us Kenton strong. And that's what will keep Kenton and our nation moving forward. Thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend.